And these are the questions that you need to ask and explore and think about and really do some soul searching. You're not only impacting your life and your family, you're impacting their lives and their family.
Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devon Dickinson, and today I want to talk to you about whether you should be what I'm going to call a solopreneur or someone that actually is an entrepreneur that actually has employees and creates kind of a company. And many of us, when we think like we're entrepreneurial, we have this vision of what we want to create. And typically it's, you picture yourself with an office, a corner office, and a bunch of people working for you and running around and executives and so on and so forth. And we have this vision of what an entrepreneur is. But I'm going to say, oftentimes even more profitable are solopreneurs. And these are solopreneurs where they've decided that they are going to be, it's basically going to be me, myself, and I, right? It's going to be, I'm, going to drive my own company, my own destiny, and I don't need employees. Now, I say that, and maybe you have one or two assistants, maybe you have a couple people helping you out here and there, but for all intents and purposes, the company revolves around you as a solopreneur. And right now, probably a lot of people are like, oh, totally dismissing that. Like, that's not what I want. I want a company. I want employees. I want all of this excitement and all these people running around. And because we think bigger is better, and we think bigger is more profitable. Well, first off, let me just start from the very beginning. That's not true. It can be true, but I know people that have been my neighbors for years and good friends of mine, and lots of these different conversations that I've had where people we've talked about this, where they're like, hey, Devon, I grew my company and I found out that the more that I grew, and the higher my top line went, the smaller my bottom line went, and the bigger my frustrations were. And so they have opted to scale back and become solopreneurs. And this was like an evolution of lots of years of pain and growing both ways before they realized, hey, you know what? I'm much better. I'm much more profitable as a solopreneur versus an entrepreneur. And you're going to say, okay, Devon, well, great. Tell me which one I am. What's the litmus test? How do I tell? Well, listen, I don't know that because I don't know each and every one of your businesses. And there's no hard, true, and fast rule, right? It's not if you're in this industry, you should be a solopreneur. If you're in this industry, you should have employees. That's not true. But there are some things I want you to think about, because being someone with employees has a great deal of responsibility that revolves simply around people. Like people, right? So it becomes less about your product and more about the people. First off, let me ask you, are you someone that likes people? And I mean that genuinely, like a genuine question. Like, are you someone that thrives being around people? Are you someone that thrives being on a team, right? Like, I love sports and I've always loved team sports. I did not like individual sports. So, like cross country and wrestling and stuff like that, I never enjoyed that. I always enjoyed team sports, but I had very good friends of mine that did not like team sports because they would explain it like, well, I don't want to lose a game if, this person is sick, or I don't want to lose a game if this person, is being lazy. I want to control my own destiny. And I know that as a wrestler, if I lose, right? But, in basketball or soccer or something like that, you could have the game of your life and the team lose. And so, listen, first off, like, you need to understand, like, how you interact with people. Do you enjoy winning and losing as a team versus being solely in control of your own destiny? So do you like people? Do you want to be around people? Can you get the best out of those people? Because here's the difference. You're not a player on that team, although you might be a player, but you're also the coach. So now not only are you a good teammate, but can you be a good coach? And can you get the best out of people? Can you train them? Do you have the patience to train them and to tolerate them? And then behind all of that, do you have the discipline to hold them accountable? Because what I've also known is that there's a lot of people that love the idea of having people around the office and, winning as a team. But what they can't do is they can't hold people accountable. Right. And so if you can't hold people accountable, if you can't have those hard conversations, if you can't stand not being liked and always being popular, you should probably go also to the solopreneur side, right? Where literally you control your own destiny. Now, the other thing to consider is, there's, like I said, there's not a bad thing either way. But if you have employees, like I said, you win as a team, but you also lose as a team. So remember that, when you have a bad day and you're a solopreneur, not a big deal. You have a bad day and you're leading a team, that's a huge deal, right? People rely on you for their paycheck. When Friday rolls around, they're believing that you're going to provide. They're believing that you have a vision. They're believing that if they work for you for the next 10 years, when it comes time for their child to graduate and to go on to college, that you're going to pay them enough and that they're going to be financially stable enough to put their kids through college. They're believing that they can retire within your organization. And that's some serious pressure. And so, do you want to have that pressure along with simply the pressure to make money and perform and have a good business and winning and losing customers and market conditions and everything else? And if you're on the solopreneur side, sure, you have pressure, but you don't have the pressure of the people as well. And so, listen, there's no right answer here universally. This is an individual question that you need to do soul searching. And so what I would invite you to do is I would invite you to ask yourself those questions. Do I like people? Can I get the best out of them? Can I train them, motivate them? Can I manage them and discipline them? Or do I not want that headache? Do I not want that hassle? I would also encourage you to look at your margin profile. Right? If you add employees, you're adding expenses. How much more does your company need to grow? Does it grow at the rate and the clip that you need to support those additional expenses? Or would your margin profile be so much better if it was just you as a solopreneur? And these are the questions that you need to ask and explore and think about and really do some soul searching. Because like I said, this isn't just you. When you hire someone and they come to work for you, they don't think they're going to be there for 6 months or a year or two or whatever. They literally, in many cases, think, well, this is what I'm doing for the next 30 years, right? And go into this with seriousness and think about these things, because you're not only impacting your life and your family, you're impacting their lives and their family. I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur, and I really hope this helps. Take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button for more content.